Hello friends and faithful viewers. I recently got an Optimus Crux stove and I wanted to show a few friends how easy it is to set it up and break it down. So it's inside this titanium cookware. There's the Optimus Crux or Optimus plastic folding spoon. Maybe a bit of unnecessary kit, but nice nonetheless. And here's a titanium cookware I bought at REI, I think, about 15 years ago. There are 2 pots and 2 pans. Pans form the lid to the pots, and very nice, very light. They're so light I usually take all 4 with me, rather than taking just 2. There's almost no reason to take only 2 pot and pan combo because they're so light. Inside we have the sack. Here's the 2 pots. That one's been used a lot, that one's been used rarely. And they all have handles, protect your hands from the heat, so you don't have to have a separate tool for that. Here's the stand. Nice piece of inexpensive kit. Didn't know if I'd use it very much, but changed the center of gravity a little bit for these larger pots on top of the stove. So inside this sack is the gas can with the stove underneath. And also got a ignition, a piezo ignition for it. Very nice little piece of kit to light the flame. Don't need a lighter. And the stove is in this little sack underneath the gas can there. So undo that and pull out the Optimus Crux stove. Very small, very light, and folds. So you just pop it up and move that up, and it's ready to go. Stand it up on its own, pull the tab off the gas can, or cap, and put it on the stand, and then you can see how wide that is for these wider pots, a little bit better than just standing it on the can. So now screwing on the Optimus Crux stove, and have to move the ignition lever there. And screw that on. It'll let out gas for a moment as it's screwed on, then tighten it up safely. Undo the stove platform hinges there. Let it go. Starting it a little quickly. Probably should let it prime a little bit, but once it primes up, there it goes. That easy. Just a couple minutes to set that up. Turn off or close the valve then till it's safe, and unscrew the stove to break it down. And once it gets started, it's easy just to turn the can in the stand there rather than turning the stove, and the stove is off. Fold up the top there, and not hot at all. Fold it, put up the little, pull down the hinge there and fold it, and ready to go. Can put it back in the small pouch. It's quite safe, fits underneath this gas can. And cap back on the can, pull it off the stand. I do like the stand now, seeing how wide those pots and pans are. I think I'll be using that quite often rather than just having it stand, the can on the ground. And this pouch is really made for this size can. A smaller can, there won't be enough tension in the strap going over the top of it, over the cap. And a bigger can, it'll be too much tension. It's really made for this can. Just moving the cap a little bit so the tab on the cap doesn't, so the strap doesn't pull that off. And it's ready to put back in the bag. So here, putting it back in the bag. And chuck in the piezo ignition, Sparky, it's called, Optimus Sparky. Close that up, back in the smaller pot, and toss in the stand. Plastic so it won't hurt the coating. And there we go. 2 pots, 2 pans, gas can, stove, ignition igniter all in there, and like to put it in so it's easy to get out so the handles don't mess with it getting out. Put it in this sack. I weighed it, the whole kit. I'll probably put that on the screen. I forget how much it weighs. Spoon. And done. 5 minutes. Setup, breakdown.